Good evening again, everyone. Derek Wark, the Big D from Memorial Stadium. This is CPHS Channel 6. It is Week 8, but it's not just any ordinary Week 8. Tonight, it's the rivalry game, the Super Bowl of Port Huron, the Battle of Port Huron, as I always like to call it, between the Port Huron Northern Huskies and the Port Huron High Big Reds. The Big Reds come in at 7-0. I was given a gift before the game. I got to do this because I promised them I would do this. So here we go. Bear with me for one moment. How's that for a gift, folks? Signed by all the Big Reds, and on the back, MCWC and AZ, Smolik, Winslow, and Mark Chapman. That's a great gift. Thanks to Mrs. Chapman and Mrs. Smolik for bringing it up to the Big D. That's really great. How about those 7-0 Big Reds? I'm going to talk about both teams. Let's start with the Big Reds and how they got there. First and foremost, the very talented Chapmans in the backfield. How can you not start with them? Number 3, Winslow Chapman. Excellent rusher, excellent all-around player, and an excellent blocker. This is something that often gets overlooked. Not in his case. I always watch for this. This kid will jump the line. He will block defensive tackles. How many tailbacks do you know will block the defensive line and tackles? That's tremendous football. Mark Chapman, what can you say about this kid? Absolutely sensational. He's great on the rush when you spring him free, and he's great on the QB rollouts. He can find the open man, particularly number 8, Tyler Robotham. They call him Robo. He's been very, very effective over the middle when Chapman has bought time. Up front, they're loaded. Guy DeCiccio, James Calvert, Kyle Moran, to name a few. They do a great job up front to spring the Chapmans free. That's key all day. But when you talk about blocking, you also talk about the outside. Alex Smolik, number 17. Number 8, Tyler Robotham. Again, I mentioned grade 8. These two are big, they're fast, they're physical. They'll hit you on the outside, and they're great blockers, again, to spring the Chapmans free for the big play, and that's the biggest single key all day. Smolik, great fly pattern wide out, which is an odd, rare case of speed and size at this level. 6'3" plus, doesn't matter. Very fast and effective on the outside. Huskies are going to have their hands full tonight, no doubt about it, with this highly rated Big Red offense. Turning the tables now, the Port Huron Northern Huskies on offense. They're 4-3 on the season. They started 1-3, 3 straight wins for the Huskies. They've battled back despite the loss of Alex Johns-Moore, the starting quarterback. Johns-Moore, great rusher to the outside. That's something they've kind of lost a little bit in Blake Goulding, but Blake Goulding is an excellent passer. He can air the ball out, very effective, throwing to the mighty Quinn, number 10, Quinn Kotsko. This kid is a magician with a helmet on. He does everything. He kick returns. He kicks. He receives. He gets touchdowns. You name it. He's even a star on the soccer team. Indeed, the mighty Quinn. So, again, that's going to be a big, big key matchup tonight. Winslow on the outside, Quinn Kotsko on the outside. Do they go to him? We'll see. I think if you're the Huskies, you still have to go to him. Anyway, getting back to it again, the Big Red defense loaded everywhere. Defensive backs, Winslow Chapman, Montez Jackson. He's only 5'6", 140. He gets to the ball very quick and flawlessly. This kid is really a sensational player. Named Port Huron Times-Herald Player of the Week last week. You really got to love this guy. As well, 18, Corey Hutchinson. These are great cover corners. Excellent to offset Winslow Chapman and how he can adjust with his speed to the lob balls. Will Blake Goulding of the Huskies air the ball out, or will he zing the passes? I think it's very important that he zings the balls. Very, very important, or else Winslow Chapman can adjust. You've got great linebackers in Malik Edwards and 17, Alex Smolik. Outstanding on the run. There you see, the crowd will be huge tonight. Big Red Marching Band taking the field right now. We'll pause when the anthem gets underway. But again, back to it again. Great linebackers, great defensive line players. They're loaded. Rapson as well. Up front, you have Ali Fiat. I mean, the list goes on and on with this team. They'll pick when they blitz. Randy Trice, number 10. One of the really strong blitzing linebackers in this league. Pat Connell, the coach of the Huskies, made a note of that this week. They respect 10, but they respect the whole Big Red team. Very fast, very physical football team. The Husky defense, they are also led by the defensive backs. Darian Hack, number 30. Number 6, Adrian Bishop. Then you've got other talented players. You've got Micah Moore. You've got Brian, the Man of Steel, the linebacking core. It's a good, well-played team, but again, I think the biggest single key for this game for the Port Huron Northern Huskies, they've got to set the tone. They've got to set the pace. They cannot get upset when the Big Reds break for the big plays. Big D's, big 3 keys in this game coming up. But first, I believe we're going to pause for the national anthem here in just a moment. It's Big Reds, it's Huskies, and it's the anthem. Indeed, red, white, and blue, and we're proud to present it to you tonight. And welcome back again up here in the booth. Again, Derek Work, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, red, white, and blue extreme on a great evening. Football weather. Shelly Sinek, the girl in the truck down there, was even saying she loves this kind of weather. Great football weather, and Ed Sinek agreed. 2 thumbs up. Well, the Big D, big 3 keys to winning this game this evening. First off, the Huskies must stop. Who else? The Chapmans. Number 5 and number 3. These two are dynamite players. I've already talked about them. Easier said than done, but the big key on the whole, the Huskies cannot give up the big play. You give yardage to these guys, but I've talked about it in the past. It's got to be in chunks. It's got to be in small packages. You cannot give up 80, 85, 90, because the Chapmans have been absolutely killing teams on that. We have a great matchup tonight here, folks. If the Big Reds go to it, you've got Winslow Chapman against Quinn Kotsko. This looks to be a fantastic matchup. I can't wait for it if they decide to go man-to-man. Big Red's more of a zone defense because they can adjust with their speed. Finally, the third big key to this one is, can the Huskies control the clock? I think all day long they've got to use Tyler Hughes and Darian Hack short yards gains. You move the sticks, you control the clock, you get time of possession. That's how you beat the Big Reds. You keep their offense off the football field. There you go, folks. Are you ready, Port Huron? 4-3 Northern Huskies, 7-0 Big Reds. Can they continue to be perfect? Can the Huskies continue their bid for the 2011 playoffs? We'll find out who wins the Super Bowl of Port Huron next. How difficult is it to play 9 games in the MHSAA's MAC Conference and win every single one of them? I think that's an obvious answer, and the Big Reds are toying with that difficulty right now. Simply put, this is a special football team, and you don't see this kind of talent every day, if ever again. So one side of me wants to see them run the table and go perfect, but the other side of me is also a Husky fan. And what would be better than seeing what, it's no big secret, would be an enormous upset tonight should the Huskies topple the Big Reds. The Huskies' playoff hopes indeed are at stake. The Big Reds' perfect season is indeed at stake. It's the Battle of Port Huron, the Super Bowl of Port Huron, and so Port Huron. Here we go. It's perfection versus aggression. Big Reds, Huskies. The rivalry's back indeed. Let's get nasty, city of Port Huron. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. Here we go again, the big battle as it is annual. And I want to say first and foremost, I am a humongous fan of the fact that this game is being played on week 8, not on week 2 or week 3 like it had been in recent past years. But then about 10 years ago, they were in week 8 and week 9. Back then, they used to play this game as the final game on the schedule, which I absolutely loved. Well, now week 8 again. This is the kind of game, these big rivalry games, you have to play at the end of your year, not at the beginning. Does Michigan-Ohio State come week 2? Of course not. It comes last, and that's exactly what I'm happy about when you see the Big Reds and the Huskies here this evening. Once again, I'll tell you what's at stake, even though we all know what's at stake, right? For the Huskies, they come in, their playoffs hopes certainly very much alive. They come in at 4-3 after a 1-3 start. They've won 3 straight games and are now 4-3 on the season. Very much of that due to the fact that Blake Golding and obviously number 10, Quinn Kotzko, the mighty Quinn. He has been so effective for this football team. A great fly pattern wide out, certainly, but he does it all for them. He scores, he kicks, he runs back, he returns. He just plain flat out does it all, and he's a very, very big key to this game tonight for the Port Huron Northern Huskies because he is primarily the one on their team who does all of the scoring. Well, here is the Port Huron High Marching Band. The Big Red Marching Machine is leaving the field. We're just about ready. The Huskies took the field first, and the Big Reds came out late. I don't know if they're maybe getting last-minute pump-up jobs down there with Coach Mullins, but Coach Mullins has to be very, very pleased with the start his team has had. 7-0. In my 16 years as broadcasting up here in the CPHS booth, I have never seen a football team go 7-0, first off, and secondly, to run the table and go 9-0 would simply be amazing. But this team is loaded, top to bottom. I've challenged people on BigDSports.info. I've even said it. I've said, if you can find me an area where this Big Red team does not have loads of talent, go right ahead, because I'm honestly still looking for weaknesses in them. Even on special teams, they've been dynamite. But keep something else in mind. Both teams, because of, on the Husky side, Quinn Kotzko, number 10, excellent with special teams. On their side, Winslow Chapman, number 3, excellent special teams. So both sides tonight, if you look at the battles of special teams, that's pretty well even. The biggest single thing I believe is, can the Huskies shut down the Big Reds and their ability to make the big play? You've got to stop the running lanes of Mark Chapman and obviously family member behind him, Winslow Chapman, number 3 in the backfield. That's the big, big key, because you have to stop the running lanes and do not let them get free. Once they hit the open field, believe me, they're gone. So you have to stop them at the line, and that is difficult to do when you see, as I mentioned beginning of the broadcast, number 3 jumping in at the line, making blocks right at the point of no return, and he'll block out defensive tackles and even defensive ends. So again, it's easier said than done. Can this Big Red team be beaten? This is the one week where the Huskies have got to believe they can absolutely win. To do that, I believe their best shot is to be aggressive, and they have to set the tone. As mentioned, they've got a fired-up head coach always, Coach Connell. Pat Connell, he's brought great stuff with him last season when he came in and brought them to a 7-2 playoff team, 7-3 overall. But even still, he brings an aggressive nature to the football field. This team buys into it. They've got to continue that. They've got to taunt. They've got to get in the Big Red face. They did that against Utica. They can do it again. Hit them early and often and set the tone, because you cannot let the Port Huron High Big Reds dictate the pace of this game. That's why they're 7-0, because they've been dictating to teams and then flat out blowing them out in the second half of play. Just about underway here from Memorial Stadium again. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. As you can tell, I've really been looking forward to this one. And again, a special thanks has got to go out to the Smolicks and the Chapmans for making it possible. And the Big Red football team signed a hat for me. All the players on the team, some of them nicknames, some of them initials, that was phenomenal. I mean, I couldn't get a better gift. I had to put it on. No disrespect to the Huskies, the other side. I'm a fan of both teams, obviously. But the fact that they would do that, that means the world to me. So thank you, Mrs. Chapman, and thank you, Mrs. Smolik, for coming through on that one. Big D is big time happy to get this big time Big Red hat. There you go. Just about ready on the opening kickoff. Big Reds are going to receive. They've got Montez Jackson back as well. Number 3, Winslow Chapman to return about the 10. Kotzko's going to come out and kick this one off. If the Big Reds happen to get early points, and again, watch the opening drive because the Chapmans have been jumping all over it. If they get early points, another huge key is do not let yourself get discouraged if you're the Huskies. Again, ball control, very, very important. Run down the clock, very important. Keep the Big Red offense off the football field. The single biggest key in this big-time rivalry. Here we go. Huskies now spread out, ready to go on the kickoff. Big Red's ready to receive it. Again, I ask you, are you ready, Port Huron? 7-0 perfection versus 4-3 aggression. The mighty Quinn Cots go ready to kick this one off. For Mrs. Chapman and Mrs. Smolik, let's get nasty. Port Huron from the 4. Jackson, they fake the reverse. Jackson is dangerous, 15-20, 25-30, out past the 35, still going 40, down to the 46. Tackle made by 20, Kyle Truscott. For the Huskies, Little Montez found a lane and he took it out past the 45. Well, they've got playmakers, simply put. You've got to respect it. You've got to fill lanes, even on special teams, because this team can get you in an awful big hurry. Out come the Big Reds. Again, 7-0, 4-0 in the MAC Blue this year. The 27th ranked team in the state of Michigan, but a top 10 MAC team. Led by 5, quarterback Mark Chapman, dangerous dual threat quarterback, great on the rush when he gets blocking, and a very talented rollout quarterback as well. From shotgun on 1st and 10 from the 45. The give to Winslow, bounces left, got a couple tops. They've got to do that all day long. All day long, and don't quit doing it. Ben Haynes jumped up, number 28, the corner with the tackle. 8, Tyler Robotham, also 17, Alex Smolik on the outside. They're big, they're fast, they block well, and they've got great hands. They like to use Robotham over the middle. Smolik, more of a fly pattern receiver as mentioned, but he's got great hands like Robotham. 3, Winslow Chapman, who just got that opening drive carry, the tailback. Big, dangerous, fast, and he's a great blocker in front of Chapman. He got 4 on that one, 2nd down and 6 now. Off play fake to the outside, right behind right tackle, gets to the 50, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about half the distance. Darian Hack among tacklers for the Huskies. And that Husky defense, such a big key to this game, led by number 30, gentleman who just made that tackle, Darian the Debo Hack. He really sets the tempo from back there. He's quick, not afraid to pop you for his size, and a senior leader. 28, Ben Haynes, he also already has a tackle. Fine corner, 21, Hunter Potter makes the odd big play. Glombowski, 44, another good one, and also number 6, Adrian Bishop. I call him a taunting playmaker. Shotgun, they come after him and they down. Mark Chapman with a sack. 40, Gage Noachuk holding the Huskies on 3rd, and they're going to have to punt. A huge key all day. Can they get the blitzing pressure on Mark Chapman? And key, don't let him get away from you. There you see they made sure of it. He's slippery and very dangerous. You never have number 5 down until he's down. Very important the Huskies do not forget that. I should also mention 18, Corey Hutchinson, and 14, Therese Watkins. Great playmakers as well for this team. Well, we saw Montez Jackson just a moment ago. The punt by Winslow out of bounds at about the 27. That's where the Huskies will come out with their offense. 11, Mika Moore defensively for the Huskies as well, wrapping that up. Number 11, also Brian, the Man of Steel, 33. He's really stepped it up in games. And keep an eye on 40, the gentleman we just heard from, Gage Noachuk, up front. Very physical kind of defensive lineman. The Husky offense comes out. Generally a shotgun tee, but they're lined up in the spread to start this one with 1 tailback and 4 wide. 1st and 10 from the 27. QB keeper tripped up 30, down right at the 30. And is that number 2 Alex Johns Moore in the football game? He's playing? Well, I didn't hear that one. Be nice to get that kind of information before the game. I didn't, so I apologize. That's Alex Johns Moore. He's back. How about it? I said that that was a big, big key. They might lose a bit of pass rush, the fact that Johns Moore is out, but there he is. How about that? That makes this game much more interesting. 2nd and 7 from the 30. Under 9 to play, first quarter, no score. Battle of Port Huron. Johns Moore outside. Caught. Kotsko decked. Robotham got him. First down, Huskies. Not before he got hit hard. And that's what you got to do to good players. You got to smoke them. Grade 8 smoked them, but not before. A first down, Huskies. Well, I said they were going to be a shotgun tee. That's what they do with Golding. But if this is going to be Johns Moore, they line up in the spread with him. He had a knee injury back week 4, I believe it was. I can't believe he's in this game right now. That's really a testament to him. 30 the Debo, Darian Hack, also Tyler Hughes get the carries from the tailback position. 10 Quinn Kotsko leads the way on the outside, and this is Debo. Got one, if that. 80 Andrew Sufis, a very capable wideout as well on this Husky club. And keep in mind, if they're going to tightly watch Quinn Kotsko all day, Sufis could be open. He could be the deciding factor in this football game. So have an eye on 80 if 10 is being guarded too closely. For the Big Reds, again, they've got a whole lot of talent everywhere. 55 Fayad, 37 Rapson, 70 Bugner up front, 55 Edwards, 17 Zmolik in the middle. 2nd and 8 from the 43. Outside, they play off him again. Jump him quickly. Trice made the tackle, not before. Short gain to the 50, but still close to the sticks. Brings up 3rd down. Quinn Kotsko, the reception. And it will be 3rd and short. You got to like how the Huskies have come out here. They don't look intimidated one bit by the 7-0 Big Reds. They are taking it to him right now. And again, I called it. Move the ball in short numbers. Move the sticks. You don't need the big play against the Big Reds. You need to keep the Chapmans off the football field. And they're doing that so far. 3rd down and 2. Ball marked even midfield. Big play right now. They send Kotsko in motion. Off the play fake. Johns Moore. But the Big Reds jump it. But the second effort of Johns Moore is close. See, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, not to take anything away from Golding. But Johns Moore is so effective because he's so hard to bring down. He's such a gutsy pass rusher. Or, I guess, rusher, period. Avoids the pass rush nicely. But, again, number 2 is just a different kind of a player. And he makes the Huskies look a lot better. Might not even have the arm of Golding. But what he gives them on the rush is absolutely huge. Big Reds think they've stopped them. They have. It's 4th down and inches. And they're going to go for it here. Expect some kind of a hard count. I do think they're going to snap this football, though. I would guess a keeper by Alex Johns Moore. That's my guess on it. They are very close. This is inches from the first down. So here we go. Very, very big play. 4th down and 1 from the Big Red 49. Shotgun look. 4 wide, 1 back. 3 on the near side. Johns Moore runs in for the quick snap. Goes forward, easily got the first down, and pushes forward to the 45. Again, it's a different Port Huron Northern Huskies with number 2. Again, the Big Red D, 55 Malik Edwards, great playmaker. In the middle, as long as Alex Zmolik is back there as well. 17 causing damage. Secondary, Winslow Chapman, 4 Montez Jackson. I like how he plays. Hutchinson, 18, and Therese Watkins, definitely playmakers. Don't forget about Randy Trice, too, on the pass rush tonight. He's been very effective. Here he comes. Just barely blocked. Johns Moore to the outside. Robotham dives forward. He misses the tackle. Johns Moore forward to the 32, maybe the 31, and pushed out of bounds. Here come the Huskies. Well, they're ready, folks. They are ready and they are pumped up. And something's got to be said for Johns Moore to even be in this game in the first place. He wouldn't miss this in his senior season for the world. That's a good late block by Tyler Hughes there. Springs Johns Moore free, and then you see the speed of the outside does the rest. And you know you're running quick to the outside when you're avoiding Robotham. That is not a slow player. Number 8, who is lining up right now at linebacker. 1st and 10 from the 32. 6:18 ticks to go in the first. Still no score from Memorial Stadium. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Outside, low pass, caught. Kotsko trying to strip the ball. Chapman makes the tackle. Not before Kotsko inside the 30 to the 25. And that brings up second down. Well, I mentioned the Big Reds defensively like to play a zone because they believe that their speed can adjust to anything they give up so they don't allow yards after the catch. So far, they've elected to play off 10 Quinn Kotsko. Should they continue to do that, it looks like the Huskies are going to be capable of moving the football. The Big Reds might want to make adjustments on that one. But again, they do prefer a zone because of the caliber of athletes they have in their defensive backfield. Second down and 4, 26-yard line. Johns Moore, shotgun. QB keeper behind center. Got a couple, not quite to the first down marker. Brings up third down and short. Among tacklers, Robotham again. And Alex Zmolik. Very, very big play coming here on third down. And is this the killer coming right now in the booth? It is. Setting up some kind of technical jargon here. I have no idea what it is he's doing. They call him the grip. I don't even know what that is. They could just say a photographer and I'd be happy with it, but hello, killer. Hello, grip. Right on, man. Good to see you tonight. Third down and 2 from the 24. Again, from shotgun is Johns Moore. That's a short 2, by the way. The give. Now it's a fake. Johns Moore outside, but he's wrapped up, and he's going to be pushed back by a whole horde of Big Red tacklers on the sack. You name one, they got him. Great 8 Robotham among them. Malik Edwards over there, but we have a couple of flags. Look out. And there's Johns Moore limping again with his helmet off. He's already playing in a leg brace. You see it there. He is upset. He hurt his leg again. He's upset. He's a TG tough guy. That's why. I think he's pulled. Well, he's going to get tended to immediately here. You can bet on that. I can't believe he's even playing in the game with a leg brace in the first place. That is just plain gutsy. My hat's off to him. Really. He's over there on the bench. We can only cross our fingers for number 2, particularly with how the Huskies have moved the ball on this opening drive. We have offsetting penalties here, by the way. Flag on the play. That's going to replay the down. But they do say that the sack stands, which would mean offsetting penalties after the tackle, and in this case, after the sack. Here you see it. Johns Moore outside. He thought about maybe a pitch there for a second, but there you see. Great job, Randy Trice. He doesn't make the tackle. He just stays with him because he knows if he does, he's going to get help quickly. Now they're going to try a field goal attempt here. This is from 46. They believe Quinn Kotsko can hit this because he's a soccer player and he's got the leg. Placed down, Kotsko. No good, but he had the distance that was just wide left. Kotsko from 46 barely misses. So the Big Red defense holds after the Huskies a very, very strong opening drive with 4:03 to go in the first. No score from Memorial Stadium, the Battle of Port Huron. Is that Andy the Big Bad Wolf right there? With a pink toque? Apparently so. It's a cold evening, but it's great football weather. And I can't argue with it. Big D, Derek Wark, CPHS, Channel 6. Yeah, there he is with the pink toque. I like the pink toque, brother. I do. Nothing wrong with that. Shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here come the Chapmans again. Play fake. Mark. Got 12. First down. I don't like the spot, but they are marking him just past the 30. 10 even. First down, Big Reds. And look out because he is capable of busting that one straight on through. There you see. And you got to love how Winslow makes the blocks in front of him. I called it beginning of the broadcast. First and 10 from the 31. 2 backs, 3 wide. Immediate give. Taken down hard. 21, the King Thomason. Got maybe 1. That'll bring up second down. Well, the Huskies, again, 4-3 in the season overall. The 298th ranked team in the state of Michigan. Again, I said the Big Reds, 27th ranked. The only MAC Blue loss the Huskies had was against Grosse Pointe South Week 2. The Huskies lost their entire front 7 on D from a season ago. 6 returned on offense. They've had both injuries and suspensions at key positions, which is definitely a tribute to Coach Connell. Definitely to still have this team over 500 at this point in the year. End around, but it's a fake. Mark Chapman, open field. Look out. Never doubt a Chapman. End zone touchdown, Big Reds. The field is clean of flags. That's going to stand. What did I say beginning of the broadcast? You cannot let the Chapmans beat you on big plays. You've got to make tackles at the line of scrimmage. If they get open field, they're gone. Big Reds the early lead, 6-0. Brandon Huntoon to kick this one for the extra point. And to go up 7. It's up, it's good. So with 2:50 to go in the first. 7-0 Big Reds. 7-0 Mark Chapman. And Huntoon for the extra. Well, last week, the Big Reds beat Grosse Pointe South here at Memorial Stadium 42-15. The big play in that one, and really the player that everyone was talking about last week, Montez Jackson. Even the big fella down there in the truck, E.J. Shea, was talking about little Montez. A 45-yard interception return for a touchdown, also a forced fumble. But every game the kid plays, he's tough, he's fast, he's physical, and what myself, the Big D, and the big fella in the truck down there, E.J. Shea, think, he's doing this at 5'6", 140. Now that's a player. I don't care. That is a player. I say up here when people come into the booth and meet me and say, we expected someone bigger, Big D. I tell them being big is a state of mind. There you see Chapman. And he's just too fast. And if you notice, the Big Reds for the length of the field are still blocking. Look at the wideouts. Look at 8 Robotham. Look at 17 Smolik. Way down the field blocking for Chapman. There's an art to springing guys free. There's another to continue blocking. And really, you got to think how fast they are because they're keeping up with 5. Wow. They do it. That's why they're 7-0, because they flat out play football the way football is meant to be played. Hard-nosed blocking and tackling. Wow. Huntoon, kickoff. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. On the bounce. That one's out of bounds on the flag, so Huskies get a break. But again, great job, Montez Jackson, and congrats to him for being named the Port Huron and Port Huron Times-Herald Player of the Week last week. Great job, Montez. Coach Mullins on Montez, though, he claimed a great work ethic, very consistent, well respected by his team due to how hard he works, and a great technique player. An old school player, and he's fearless. Well, that sums it all up right there. Don't forget, folks, number 4 is 5'6", 140. Interesting to talk about, too, what the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devil head coach Tim Brandon said about this talented Big Red team last week. I'll tell you in just a minute. Speaking of talent, he's back out there again. He's playing through pain. Alex Johns-Moore, unbelievable. Play fake, outside, caught in the flat. Kotsko cuts it up. Hammered down again. Trice hammered him. And check that, 16 on the catch. Aurelio Massabrio, and we have a flag as well. And a hold against the Huskies. That one going to come back as we replay first down. Well, Brandon said this. They've just got so many athletes, referring to the Big Reds, that it's a very, very talented football team. He claimed their plan was to stop Mark Chapman, but again, that only worked for so long. Because that's when the other Chapman, Winslow, took over last week. 180 plus. 2 touchdowns. Biggest single key about that last week, though. They started the drive on his own 1 when Chapman busted one for 82. 1st and 18 now from the 27, coming off penalty to the outside. Just throws it away. Smart play, Johns Moore, bringing up 2nd down. But for those that watch that game, there you see a good shot of Coach Connell with Alex Johns Moore. He's got to be proud of his quarterback for being in this football game. It is really a gutsy effort, to say the least. But again, for that drive where Winslow busted one last week for 82, they'll say they were on the 1-yard line. They were on the 1-inch line when they got to about the 18 and they busted that huge play. So one more thing about last week and the great win against Grosse Pointe South. Then we'll talk about the Huskies. They had a thriller here at Memorial Stadium as well last week, in one the Big D had to miss. 2nd down and 18. Wide open field. Tyler Hughes, good block. Cuts it up, 35. Still going is Hughes, battling forward, 40. What a great effort by 8. Tyler Hughes bouncing off tackle like a pinball and got much of the yardage back. That one right there deserves a replay. And if we do see one, make a note of how he bounces off tackle like a pinball. So important that you finish your tackle. And he isn't the fastest guy in the world. He's a short yardage gainer. But he gets the job done and he avoids tackle. Watch this. Great block there, by the way. That looked like it was Massabrio blocking out Winslow. And then 8 did the rest. Alex Johns Moore, open field, past midfield, out of bounds, 38. Montez Jackson got him up for a ton of yards. 1st down, Huskies. Again, there's that extra bit of offense they get with Johns Moore. Goulding might be a little bit better on the pass, but Johns Moore on the rush just does so much for this football team. Look at him avoiding tackles, though, Tyler Hughes from a moment ago. I mean, he's just fighting and pushing forward, moving his feet, and just almost like a little pinball. Although he's not little, I'll tell you that. Tyler Hughes, 5'10", 195. That's my definition, though, of a hard-nosed, just rough, tough run. From the 38, it's 1st and 10. Minute 40 to go in the first quarter. Hack, off tackle. Well, the Big Reds are just plain missing tackles right now. Down to the 30, by 30. Debo, close to the 1st down. He's a little workhorse, number 30, no doubt about it. Darian Hack. Getting back to last week, the 42-15 win over Grosse Pointe South. Port Huron gained 431 total yards. Mark Chapman, 108 yards and a TD on the rush. He also threw for 136 and 2 touchdowns, both of those to great 8 Robotham, who had 4 catches for 54, and Zmolik, 5 for 67. There you see. I say it all the time, I'll say it again. If you're a running back, you keep moving your feet. You don't stop, you dance. Huskies are doing that. I said it all along. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for them. They've got to control the clock, and they're doing it. They just can't give up big plays. Here's a big-time hit. Reception made by 12, Jackson Langolf, but not before he's decked by 18, Corey Hutchinson. Open up a cup of you-know-what. He's overlooked, and he shouldn't be. But what can you say? 4 is good, 3 is good. But 18 is a good cover corner in his own right, and Hutchinson, that's a great job. We'll talk about the Huskies and what they did last week. Double overtime thriller over visiting Anchor Bay in just a moment. This one dead as it starts. I think that's going to be the end of the quarter. Yes, it is. A very exciting first. Both teams moving the ball well, but so far, Mark Chapman, the only player to get in the end zone. 7-0 so far. Big Reds on top of the Huskies. The Battle of Port Huron. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, back with a second in a moment. Memorial Stadium is rocking tonight, as it should be. The big rivalry game, the Battle of Port Huron, the Super Bowl of Port Huron. Sometimes I run out of adjectives. Even you, Big D? Yes, even me, believe it or not. But it's a big, big game nonetheless. Both sides, as you'd expect, are packed. End zones, packed. There's even bleachers on my far right to that end zone. 7-0 Big Reds on top of the Northern Huskies. So far, so good for both teams offensively. They're moving the ball very well. 3rd and 6 from shotgun. Johns Moore, caught, complete, outside. First down. 25, still battling down to the 22. 5, the reception, Eric Olson. I'll tell you something. The Huskies have come out very prepared in this football game. And they are a different team with Alex Johns Moore. A senior leader, and he's showing it. The pick-me-up this team needed to battle this great Big Red football team. From the 23, now it's 1st and 10. Shotgun, Johns Moore, outside, caught again. Eric Olson got a few. Inside the 20, maybe to the 17. And among tacklers over there, Hutchinson and Robotham yet again. Last week, a 36-35 double overtime victory for the Huskies here at Memorial Stadium on Saturday afternoon. A game that unfortunately the Big D had to miss. And of course, the one game I have to miss. I might miss next week too, I'm not sure yet. But the one game ends up being a double overtime thriller with the Huskies coming out on top. How unlucky am I? What a great game, and congratulations, Husky, on a beauty. 2nd down and 6 from the 18. Tyler Hughes tripped up, hits his line, no can do. Among tacklers, Alan Rapson and Trice pushing everybody forward. And that brings up 3rd down and about half the distance. That win last week for the Huskies marked the first time Northern has beaten Anchor Bay since 1989. Blake Golding rushed in both the overtime touchdowns for Northern. Coach Pat Connell stunned the Anchor Bay Tars. He called for a fake on an extra point attempt, and it worked to win the game. Holder Hunter Potter pitched the ball to kicker Quinn Kotsko, and the mighty Quinn did all the rest. 3rd down and short. They got him. 56, Malik Edwards stops him in his tracks, but we have a flag on the play. Or maybe that's not a flag. That's just an object on the field over there. The Big D's seeing things. It looks like a flag from my angle. But nonetheless, 4th down and 9. Huskies thinking about going for it here. They've got Johns Moore in the game. It looks like they're going to. Huge play right now for the Huskies, I would think, offensively. 2nd quarter, they're yet to score, but they've moved the ball well on the Big Red D. 4th down and 9 for the 23. They call timeout. The one thing that ex-coach of the Huskies, Casey Kucera, has in common with Coach Connell, they both come charging out of the, I'll say out of the gates, but from the sideline when they call timeout. They don't fool around. I like that as an announcer because I know what team called the timeout. Although Coach Connell looks very snazzy as always with his patented tie. He's got to wear a tie every week apparently. Anyway, getting back to that game there last week. Anchor Bay was coming in quickly off the right edge on Kotsko's kicks. Basically, they say, all day long. So this time it was countered against, and I mentioned the great play call by Connell. It was a call that ended up getting Coach Connell the win and put his Huskies over 500, 36-35. Golding on the game, 6 for 12, 108, 4 for 4 for 80 yards on the pass, and Kotsko a 40-yard TD in the opening drive of the game. Kotsko 2 TDs in that one. Offensively for the Big Reds. Here we go again, 4th and 9, 23. Shotgun airing it out right in the hands of Robotham. Robo to the 41. That's what man-to-man does, and having a player on the inside of the man you're covering outside. Tyler Robotham just stood there and waited for the pass to hit his hands. And the only way that pass is not picked is to air that ball out deeper. Yeah, see, that is right in Robotham's hands. And they had coverage on Kotsko. But you know what? If you're the Huskies, that's your bread and butter. I don't care how many Big Reds are guarding Kotsko. You've got to continue to go to him because that's how you put points on the scoreboard. From the 40, 1st and 10. Winslow, nothing. Hit hard forward. 3 the tackle, Donovan Barnes for the Huskies. There you see him. All kinds of stickers on the back of his helmet for good plays. Not only did Kotsko have 2 touchdowns last week, but the mighty Quinn, a 99-yard kickoff return touchdown that brought the house out of their seats. The return tied a Northern all-time record apparently held by Mike Emmerich. There you go. So Kotsko not only having a great year, but he's also setting history, or at least tying history for the Huskies. How about that? 2nd and 8 from the 43. Flag thrown. Chapman play fake, nothing. And as mentioned, a flag thrown right here at the 43, right under me. And we'll see what this is all about. They're pointing to the Big Red side. I think that one is going to come back. Didn't really get much on it anyway, and it is. It's going to be a false start against the Big Reds. So if you're the Huskies, really, it's been a good start. You've done what you need to. The recipe for success, as far as the Big D said at the beginning of the broadcast, they've done. Again, though, it is just the one big play from the Chapmans. They'll get 3, they'll get 4, they'll get 2, they'll get 1. Don't let them get 60 and 70 and 80. We've seen it once. 3rd down and 8 from the 43. Big play here. Shotgun. Screen look. Nice block. Winslow Chapman to the 40. Down 38. 1st down. Big Reds. 11 the tackle. Mika Moore. Not before. Move the sticks. Well, a good play call, and the Chapmans do it well. But look at the initial block to spring free Winslow Chapman. If they don't make this block, he's probably stopped. It was right away, and that's why you set up the screen so that your blockers can get downfield in front of the runner initially until the runner passes you. Here it is. Watch this block. Right here, 51. Outstanding job, Kyle Moran. That's what I'm talking about. This team blocks when it has to, better than anybody. 38. 1st and 10 from there. Mark inside the 35 to the 34. Well, I know you're proud, Patty Chapman. Thanks for coming up in the booth earlier. But it was actually Mrs. Molick that said, "We love the Big D." Great to hear. This, however, is not great to see. Mark Chapman, and you can only hope that's a cramp. I think it is. You basically know as a trainer, if it is, that is immediate pain and then it leaves you. If he is hurt, that's a huge loss. But I don't think he is, folks. I think it's a cramp, but we'll see. So enter new quarterback now, Winslow Chapman. 2nd down and 6 from the 34. Here come the Big Reds again. The fake to King. Winslow the keeper. Here he goes. 15, 10, cuts upfield, 5. Winslow, you are ridiculous. Touchdown, Big Reds. Wow. That is just what they do to you. You cannot stop the Big Reds for 4 quarters from getting the big play. You can only try to contain this football team. Containing them is not easy, but it's the recipe for success. The extra point actually is blocked. And the Husky fans love it because it's something to cheer about. A great effort from 21, Hunter Potter. And that play looked like the Deathly Hollows thanks to Hunter Potter. 7:25 to go. There's the score. Winslow Chapman from 30 plus. Here you see the fake to Thomason. But again, look at the blocking. They're there. And then the feet movement by Winslow, and there's nobody over there, and then he cuts up the field. I said it last week, Winslow Chapman does not like to go out of bounds. A lot of players may go out of bounds there. He just cuts the ball upfield and he takes it forward. Wow. It has been such a treat to watch this Big Red team this year. I should also add, talking about the Huskies last week, they're great. Overtime, thrilling victory, 36-35. Linebacker Mika Moore, who has certainly stepped up his game lately, a 65-yard touchdown interception return. Huskies trailed 14-7 at the half, but after that the floodgates opened offensively and a great 36-35 victory over a strong Anchor Bay football team. Oh, Big Reds are just doing what they did last week, and they're really not letting up at all. But the Huskies have to settle down. They have to keep their game plan. Just don't give up the big play. Kickoff. Quinn-Cots-Go from the 10, smothered, going nowhere at the 7. Trice got him. It's Trice as nice for the Big Reds. And he's talking a bit, and we have a late flag. And I think there's a couple. I think both sides maybe talked a bit. And it is odd to say that that's what you have to do. But because of what I call a bit of a talent mismatch, if you're the Huskies, you're the team that has to taunt as far as I'm concerned. You've got to shout, you've got to talk, you've got to try and make the Big Reds put themselves in a position like this. There you see. They talked, they taunted. Huskies have to win that war as well, the battle of the penalties, and the battle of who talks and who doesn't. But in that way, they have to control the tempo. They've got to try and get into the Big Reds' heads. Here's a guy who's in everybody's heads right now. Number 3, Mark. Well, Mark Chapman is 5, but Winslow as well. There you go. First down. Play fake. Johns Moore. Excellent effort. Got maybe 5. Not too bad at all. Looks more like 4, but we'll see. Out close to the 30-yard line. But it's got to be frustrating for you. Huskies moving the ball so well, they just can't put the ball in the end zone for points. And they're really controlling time of possession, too. That's the other thing they're definitely doing. They're just not putting the ball in the end zone. But that's what I said they have to do, is keep the Chapmans off the football field. They're doing that. But it's the big plays, and it's got to be frustrating for them because they're controlling the clock. Big Reds are not. Look up at the scoreboard, 13-0. Johns Moore out of bounds, 40, and a first down, Huskies. Well, should the Big Reds hold on and win tonight, it would be their first 8-win season since 1953, and the first time they've had an 8-0 start since 1952. Of course, they could also win the Mac Blue title outright tonight. A loss, and they share the title with either Grosse Pointe South or maybe even the Northern Huskies, since if Northern wins, they'd have the same Mac Blue record as the Big Reds, but they'd be better head-to-head. So how about that as a little bit of extra incentive here for you tonight? From the 37, 1st and 10 outside, Cots-Go, caught, out of bounds, and that is a late hit, and you cannot do that with a 13-0 lead. And Coach Connell's given him an earful. He doesn't like it, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. Referee's coming over there telling him not to keep talking, but he's gonna. I don't blame him, but they did catch the flag. They got it, so they're basically saying, we threw the flag, Pat, and it's got to be thrown. Especially in this stadium where you don't have a lot of room over there and a real big wall that is close to the sidelines. For that reason, I think, referees pay big-time attention to players going out of bounds on this football field. So Big Red shooting themselves in the foot here. This has been unlike this Big Red team. In the past, Port Huron has not been disciplined at all. That's one flaw in their game. This year, however, they have been. Of course, blowout victories will do that for you. So far in this game, they're not disciplined at all, really. 1st and 10 from the 42. They give to Tyler Hughes. He is buried and pushed back. All kinds of tacklers, you name them. Trice again. Malik Edwards, another one. Smolik is over there as well. And Ali Fayad in the vicinity. Last year was a great game to watch. I like offensive scoring in football as long as it's a close game, but I'll tell you something. I will take 10-0 any day of the week because it's entertaining and it's close and it's just something different. 2nd down 11, 44, airing it out. Kotsko had to jump up to make the catch. He does at the 39. Falls out of bounds over there. Montez Jackson to try and defend, and it brings up 3rd and long. Again, 10-0. Awesome defensive battle in last year's game, but regardless of that, both teams, they made the playoffs, and both suffered first-round exits. Big Reds had Warren De La Salle, give me a break last season. But Huskies, a game they really should have won. Again, hello to you and yours tonight from Memorial Stadium. Derek Wark, the Big D, for the Port Huron Area School District, Channel 6, CPHS, the television station network of the Port Huron Area School District, and happy to have you aboard for the big rivalry game. This is a low snap. They get the handoff to Debo, but he's hammered. And a flag thrown at the 40-yard line. So we'll see what this is all about here. But again, Big Reds. 13-0 lead. 5 and 39 ticks to go in the second. And that is going to be offside against the defense, which is the Big Reds. So they've really done the Huskies a big-time favor on this drive here. And the Huskies really now, knowing they're moving the ball well again, and all these Big Red mistakes on this particular drive, they've got to punch it in for some points here. Here you see the Huskies coming out of break now. 3rd down and 2, a huge play for them. They've got to get a first down here. Johnsmore from shotgun. 3 wide, 2 near side, 1 far side. Johnsmore the keeper behind Debo, but he's buried. Alex Smolik got him. 56 as well on the tackle. Malik Edwards for the sack. Pushes them back again. The one thing the Huskies could not afford there was to lose yardage, and they just did. And now it looks like they're going to punt. There's Malik. Excellent linebacker for the Big Reds. One of the many talents they've got in this 11-man defensive unit. Final 5 minutes to go now in the second. There you see the pack. Lots of them over there. Husky fans trying to rally the troops. There's a fan of 16 Massabrio with that sign over there. 4th and 6 from shotgun, they're going for it. Johnsmore to pass from the 45, airing it out deep. Antenna receiver 5, Eric Olson, but the pass is high. And it's a turnover on downs. Little Montez Jackson, good coverage for the Big Reds. There he is. And there I am. Derek Wark, Big D, and I apologize, I took this off. I have to respect the Huskies, but an excellent gift, and I really do thank Mrs. Chapman and Mrs. Smolik for that one. And if you can see on this hat, too, at the back, Winslow Chapman, Mark Chapman, there you go, and Alex Smolik signed it for me. And it's special because the 3 of them had their names alone on the back. But anyway, this game here, controlled by the Chapmans again. Huskies cannot give up any more big plays, but keep gaining chunks in small yardage. Control the clock, time of possession. As I've said all along throughout, that's the big, big key for the second half for Northern. First down, outside, Winslow Chapman. Off tackle, gets hammered down for the quarterback sack from the 30. 44 got him this time. James Glumbowski. And we have not seen the return of 5 Mark Chapman yet. And that is a tremendous loss for the Big Reds if we haven't. Not to take anything away from Winslow, but when you can line them both back there, wow. I thought it might be a cramp, but we'll see. I don't know. He hasn't been back yet. Winslow still doing the job. Second down and 15 from the 32. Under 4 to play in the first half. This snap is missed. Big Reds go after the football, down by Winslow at the 15, and very fortunate that he got it back. And we have a flag on the play again. That one's late. Somebody talked again. Well, I think maybe they picked up the flag. Or did they? They're pointing to the Big Red side again. So Huskies are really going to push them back. The Big Reds, and it is against the Big Reds, they have really shot themselves on the foot, and it really hurts because it comes after the play. There you see the snap. Winslow going after it very quickly, got at the 16-yard line, and he's very fortunate that he did, but so it's third down and 37. They've got to get to the 48, and this is just not going to do it. They're going to have to punt the football away. They only get back to the 12. So here comes a very big opportunity for the Huskies to get on the scoreboard before the half. They call a timeout. Coach Connell, very smart to do this. He's got one left. And the reason he's smart to do this, because if he doesn't there, the Big Reds can run this clock down. Obviously because they've got one more play, right? Being as you force the timeout, they can't now. So excellent thinking by Coach Connell. Obvious thinking, mind you. I mean, it's no rocket scientist, but good thing he did it. They've still got one timeout, which they can definitely use. And when you consider they're going to have half the football field to work with here, with 3:16 left to go, I like their chances. And they need it badly. They've got to stay in this football game. The Big Reds' recipe for success is about 32 to 10 and walk away. The Huskies' recipe for success in this football game is 20 to 19 victors. That's what they want to do. They want to keep it within one possession and see what the outcome is. Lewis Nowakowski back to return this punt for Northern, standing at his 50. Punting in his end zone. Robotham takes a forward bounce for the Big Reds. Got to about the 44. Excellent field position, though, for the Huskies, where they come out. Their final drive, more than likely, before the first half ends. 3:04 left to go, second quarter. And again, Derek Wark, the Big D, loving the rivalry game, as I always do, Week 8. This never gets old, Port Huron. Never. That's what a few of them were saying to me before the game. We can't believe how far you travel for this. Well, you know what? I love it. It's got to be your passion. It's got to be your love. And it is mine. First and 10, 44, shotgun. Johns Moore. One, and that's it. And I would think that a team desperate to get yardage and points before the end of a first half would not do a simple QB sneak like that right side, because that brings the clock down. Well, they're going to have to open it up, simply put, if they want to move 43 yards on this Big Red D. They have moved the ball a little bit on the Big Reds. But the key, again, is they have not allowed the Huskies in the end zone. Kotsko tried the early field goal from 46. He had the distance, if you're wondering, on it, but missed wide left. Second and 9 from the 43. Johns Moore going to keep it. Well, that's just great moves. Gets to the open field. Robotham is waiting for him, but look at Johns Moore. Cut up field late and get two more close to the sticks. Wow. You can't run the football any better than that kid does in short yardage gains. And you see at the end of the play, he lowers his head and takes the extra 2 yards. He's not fighting forward. He's just giving himself up for the extra. But he's getting it. You got Robotham waiting for you there. That's not easy. Look at him just kind of kick for the extra 2. Johns Moore outside again. First down, Huskies. That'll temporarily stop the clock to move the sticks. If you're the Big Reds here, keep him in bounds at all costs. There is one timeout left. So either way, they can stop the clock one more time. Big Reds, it doesn't matter how many yards you give up here. Just keep them away from the end zone at all costs. That's what they're thinking. Huskies, again, would like to go, in a perfect world, 10 yards and out of bounds. To pass, Johns Moore airing it out. This is Quinn Kotsko. Catches the football inside the 10 to the 8. Manfred Mann said it best. Come all without, come all within. You've not seen nothing like the mighty Quinn. There you go. Johns Moore saw that he had man-to-man coverage on Kotsko, and he aired it out. And I hate to pick on 4 Montez Jackson, but that is a size mismatch. Big Reds elected to go man-to-man with Kotsko, and they paid for it. Hack inside the 10 to the 7, pushed back, gain of 1. For what 4 Montez Jackson gives up in height, he makes up for in speed, coverage, the fact that he's a great athlete. But there's no doubt about it. If you're the Huskies and you see man-to-man, you have to take your chance with Kotsko in that situation. You've got to throw to Montez's side. He has the ability to get you. But because of the size mismatch, you cannot ignore man-to-man with a 6'2", 190 Kotsko versus 5'6". But whatever you do, if you're doing that, do not underthrow the football because Montez will end up with it. If you're 6'2", and Johns Moore knows you're 6'2", you have to lead the wideout past Jackson. It cannot be a throw that is short. If you have to overthrow him, then you do it. That's how you take advantage of the size mismatch. You air it out high, and Kotsko comes down with the football. Here we go. Off the timeout from the Huskies now. Second down and goal from the 6. They really, really need these points. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. 13-0 Big Reds. Huskies trying to get in the end zone. They're inside the 10, at the 6. Johns Moore outside. Lobs it. That's a dangerous pass. Touchdown, Huskies. Number 12, Jackson Langolf was waiting for it. That is a dangerous, dangerous pass against this secondary to lob the football in that state. But they got it past the defense. Barely. Touchdown, Langolf. Huskies back on the prowl again. 13-6. It's up and it's good. 13-7 now. The Huskies using their field possession and field position very, very well. They bring the ball downfield. They use their one timeout efficiently. There you see it. Winslow didn't go for the pick. He went for the pass, batted down, and he was mad at himself that he missed that one. That, folks, is a very dangerous pass. If you're Johns Moore and you know Winslow Chapman's over there, you zing the ball. You do not lob that pass. But who am I to talk? The Huskies got it through. Johns Moore got it through. Jackson laying off for 6. And we've got a different game again. 13-7. There you see the Big Red sidelines coming off the touchdown by Kotsko. Check that by Langolf. I'm so used to calling out Kotsko's name. I will be in a minute because he's doing the kickoff. 16, Jackson Langolf found himself open. Guarded in more of a zone look by 3, Winslow Chapman. But they beat him. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Kotsko, the kick. Bobbled at the 27. Upfield quickly is King Thomason to the 30. and down to the 32 with 34 seconds to play in the first half. Now we'll see what the Big Reds are going to do here now. If for no other reason, because they have all 3 of their timeouts to work with. Again, the crowd tonight, very, very big. They say close to 6,000. I don't know about that. 5 to 6 maybe, closer to 5, I don't know. But that's what they say can fit in this stadium at its top capacity, about 6,000 with the end zones all full. Anyway, Coach Mullins on this game tonight, he claimed, I think the team can handle the emotion, but the team that can handle the emotion the best, especially early on in the game, sometimes can be the team that jumps out early. Certainly early scoring, something the Big Reds very, very used to when they scored early in this one. Still no Mark Chapman. He's out with injury. Small gain here, not much, Winslow. And I think they're just going to let this clock run down. They're not using their timeouts. They're going to take it in at half with 13-7. So if you're the Huskies, you have the momentum going into halftime, and that is huge for them. That touchdown was absolutely huge. They've been running the ball well on the Big Reds. They've been bringing the ball downfield, but they have not gotten into the end zone until late in the first half. I call the second half even at this point. The Huskies have battled back from their big problem in the early going, giving up the big play for the Chapmans. How will Mark Chapman's injury come into factor? We will see in the third quarter. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. The second half is coming up after the marching bands do their thing at halftime. The Battle of Port Huron so far in the hands of the Big Reds at 13-7 over the Huskies. But don't look. The Huskies are on the prowl. Look out.
Flight and must enter the truck bed on the fly and come to rest inside the bed of the truck. It cannot bounce in. Now, down on the field from Moran Chevrolet Fort Gratiot, your 2 representatives for the Flatbed Challenge, Dan Falk and Dick Barker, and your contestant, Jasmine Brown. Let's give her some encouragement. Are we ready for the kick? Nice try, Jasmine. Ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine Brown on the Flatbed Challenge. Let's give her a hand. At this time, one of the representatives from Moran Chevrolet will present someone from Port Huron High School a large check for $1,000. This concludes our Flatbed Challenge show. Let's have a hand and a big thank you for Chevrolet and Moran Chevrolet. Another hand for Jasmine Brown for her attempt at the Flatbed Challenge.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. The second half just about to get underway. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, and Channel 6 for the rivalry game tonight. Week 8, 7-0 Big Reds, 4-3 Huskies. And after first half complete, 13-7 Big Reds on top of the Huskies. I think the first half, really, the Huskies did a great job. They did everything they were supposed to do. The recipe for success. They controlled the clock. They moved the sticks. They did everything but score. Late in the half, they did get on the board. Very, very important because now they have the momentum. And Mark Chapman, I was just told by Mr. Smolik at halftime, he's out. He's done for the day with an ankle injury. That makes it very interesting because I'm not sure what number 3 Winslow Chapman is like with the passing game. He's a great rusher, but on the pass, we indeed will have to wait and see as you see the teams out here still practicing, getting ready for the second half of play. I said the key to the Huskies, they must stop the big plays. It's been 2 big plays, one Chapman, the other Chapman, for touchdowns. That's basically been it right now for the Big Reds. They haven't moved the ball like the Huskies have. They've been moving the sticks all day long. But the fact is, you keep them out of the end zone, that's the major stat in the game, and really all that matters. Kotsko versus the Big Red secondary. I said that would come into play. The Huskies have gone to Kotsko a little bit more often, but still they've kept him out of the end zone, the Big Reds, and that's a definite plus. But then again, I said all this, I didn't expect Alex Johns-Moore to be in this lineup either. He's a big, big plus, and look for him to continue his hard-nosed, aggressive running as this game continues. And finally, can the Huskies continue to control the clock? They do so, they have the best chance of winning this football game. But stop the big play. Take it from the Big D. You stop the big play, you got a chance at the Big Reds. You don't, it's going to be a long night. But at least now they have one Chapman to deal with and not 2. Still, though, number 3, easier to stop. Easier said than done. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, back with the third in a moment. Well, here we go with the third quarter. Welcome back. Big D, Derek Wark, CPHS, Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. We got a doozy of a second half lined up for you here. 13-7. Big Reds on top. A one-possession game. I said that is really another key for the Huskies tonight. Can they keep it within one possession? Can they keep it within striking distance? And don't overlook the blocked extra point here. Hunter Potter blocked an extra point try by Brandon Huntoon. And that was a really big key back in the second quarter of play. Got some technical difficulties here we're trying to work out, yeah. Brandon Wright left my door open. That's not cool either. The wind is blowing around out there. But anyway, back to this one. Ready to kick it off. And the Huskies are going to start with the football, and that's a big, big key too. Because the way that they're moving the football in this game kind of shocks me. Johns-Moore is doing a great job considering this is a kid that got hurt in week 4. He's basically got 1.5 legs, and he's still out there rushing, still out there doing the job. Anyway, here we go. Back. I just shut the door. Everything's great now. Technical difficulties in the booth, but not for long. Big D back again. Brandon Huntoon ready to kick this one off. The Battle of Port Huron, the Super Bowl of Port Huron continues right now. Third quarter action. Let's get nasty. Port Huron. Kickoff return by the mighty Quinn to the 15, now 20, around quickly. Look out, he returned one for 99 last week. Oh, he slipped and he fell at the 42. Believe me when I tell you that could be a huge break for the Big Reds. They weren't exactly over there in numbers to stop Kotsko either. He got out past the 40 to the 41, they're calling it. First down from there as the Huskies come right back out to begin their next drive. But again, the Northern special teams have been terrific this year with the help of the amazing Quinn Kotsko. They've had a fake punt for a touchdown. They've recovered an onside kick this year, and again, last week, the fake extra point for the touchdown in double overtime. Look out here, Tyler Hughes, past midfield to the 40 to the Big Red 39. Winslow Chapman and Montez Jackson make the tackle, but not before a big gain. Move the sticks, and here come the Huskies again. And look out, folks. This one is dangerous for the 7-0 Big Reds right now, the way the Huskies are moving the football. But again, getting back to the special teams and then obviously the fake last week, Huskies really putting themselves in good position to win football games the way their special teams efforts have gone. Oh, there you see Hughes just got by the line, goes up and then goes right again, and he kept on prancing down to the 40 of the Big Reds. Shotgun look again, 1st and 10 from the 40. Hand off to Hughes. Ayton alive this time. 63 got him, James Calvert. And they needed that, the Big Reds, because, again, the Huskies moving the ball very effectively and getting what really seems to me like it's easier yards on the rush now than it was in the early going for this game. Well, the Big Reds came into this game averaging 33.5 points a game. Big reason why they're 7-0. Compared to the Huskies, 21.7. The Big Reds allowed just 12-9, but only 10.5 in conference play. So there you go. They've all but dominated the MAC Blue up to this point. So far, though, Huskies doing a great job. Johns Moore, big hole. Spin move, still has the football to the 35. Into the 32. And down to the 30. He might have the first down. He's real close. And a late flag comes as well. And if that, too, is against the Big Reds, man, look out here. And I was just told while we have a break in the action, Mrs. Chapman, Patty Chapman, who came up and gave me that hat today, the Big Reds, they all signed it for me. That was a great gift. Mrs. Smolik was up here too. Personal foul, by the way, against the Big Reds and one against the Huskies. That's declined. And they're calling it a first down. Anyway, back to Patty Chapman. She's celebrating her 53rd birthday tonight. There you go. And I was told that she doesn't want it to be known she's 53. Well, too bad. I don't want it to be known that I'm 35, but I do anyway. Anyway, happy birthday, Patty, and thanks for the gift. Nice of you. Heck, it's not my birthday, it's her birthday, and she's giving gifts. So how about that? Anyway, there you go. Back to the game. 1st and 10 from the 30. Under 10 to go in the third. Still 13-7 Big Reds, but the Huskies on the prowl, marching down the field in Big Red territory. That's way offside. Oh, Quinn. He was raring to take off. Well, that'll bring up first down and 15 now. They'll mark the ball 35-yard line. Big Reds still without Mark Chapman, apparently number 5, an ankle injury. The seriousness of that injury is unknown. I said last week, the one thing about the Big Reds, their big, athletic, talented players have not gotten hurt yet. Well, now they have an injury. We'll see how they can overcome the injury to their quarterback. Pitch back option. Hack. Outside, brought down hard. Minimal gain brings up second down. And that right there, folks, is a system that Darian Hack is, we'll say, more than used to. The option. That's really all they did a couple of years ago. So he's used to getting those option pitches. Got it, but went out of bounds. Second down and long now from the 33. For the most part, this game has been even, though. Huskies have actually have a greater time of possession in this game. The Big Reds, again, it just comes down to two big plays. Back to pass. They pick up the late pass rush, airing it out deep. Kotsko, the good effort again. That might have actually been 16. Aurelio Massabrio, and it is. Winslow was over there to make the play. Brings up third down and long. So that's a big, big loss for the Big Reds. Wondering about number 5, Mark Chapman. He won't be back tonight. He's down there with a crutch on. Couple of crutches down there. And he's also got his leg wrapped, so he's done for the evening. And that is not a good sign. But Mark, I know you're a TG tough guy, and you'll be back. That's why. Shotgun, third and long. They set up a screen. Great counter to the blitz. Hack's got a lot of open field. Takes it in. Past the sticks and more to the 10 to the 5. Hack is in. No, they say he's out of bounds. They're calling him out of bounds. He tried his best to sell it, but he couldn't do it. But I think he's still got the first down and moves the sticks nonetheless. Yes, he does. Darian Hack on the screen and a first down, Northern. He acted like he had it, but the Big Reds kind of did give up on the play. Look at the blitzers. They have 4 of them. They get caught up in the screen. That's what you want if you're Northern. Look at, they got 4 blockers, and there's a 5th in Kotsko. And yeah, he stepped out of bounds. From the 19, first and 10. Huge drive for the Huskies. The give to Hack. Tripped up. Nice job. 63, James Calvert. There he is, Mark Chapman. We can only wish him the best. And the one thing about these games, I'm not given any information. I'm told nothing. I'm given nothing. This is all from research and reading, but I would love to know what his injury is. That kind of information is the kind of stuff that I love to get. Seldom do I get it, so. But anyway, Chapman, we can only wish him the best. Penalty on the Big Reds. This is going to be first and goal, Huskies. So dare I say it, in a game where the Big Reds are heavily favored, the Huskies could take the lead. Wow. Great tribute to that man right there. Making it possible for this team to continue to believe in itself. Second down and 1. From the outside, they miss Johns Moore. End zone, batted down and batted away by Corey Hutchinson. Well, they had the men in numbers, and it was good coverage, and they're not going to complete that one. Third down now and 1. But I like the play call, because you got to figure second and 1, you've still got third to get the 1 yard. Why not go for the jugular? Why not? But then again, if you're Johns Moore on that pass, knowing you're going for it, make sure it's not picked, as he did. In the last 5 games, these Huskies, they've done a great job defensively as well. They've allowed just 15 points a game. Third and 1. Very, very close. I think the second effort got it, but just barely. Well, the one referee actually is standing at the 8. So if they give Johns Moore to the 8-yard line, he's got it easily. Yes, he does. He has it. First and goal, Huskies. Well, said Coach Connell, when asked about his Huskies, our philosophy on offense is to take what is given to us. We look for the same opportunities with our special teams. This could really be the biggest statement game of Coach Connell's career. Hughes inside the 5 to the 1. Brings up second down. The Huskies about to take the lead. Then again, an extra point was missed earlier. So, not counting the chickens before they're hatched, but Hughes right there on the replay takes it hard to the 1. There you see, I believe, Taco Bell in the distance. Second down and goal from the 1. They bump each other. Hughes somehow got the handoff. You're not going to do that in any league except professional football. If you're not touched, you can crawl all you want in the pros, and you can still get the TD. In that situation, at this level, you crawl on your knees, you're down. That's all there is to it. You don't have to be touched. I believe at all levels you should be. There's the Ox giving the thumbs up. He likes what he sees so far. Well, we'll hold our breath on Go Blue tomorrow, buddy. They play state. We'll see. Johns Moore, QB keeper. He's in. Touchdown, Huskies. And after the touchdown late in the first half, all the momentum has swung to Northern. And this is really the first time since maybe week 4 that the Big Reds have even been challenged at all in the second half, that a team has even played with them. Extra point try is no good. So both teams now have missed an extra point, and it remains 13-all. So that could become a very big play before it's all said and done. 6:54 left in the third, and as we watch Alex Johns Moore take it in, we have got to think, man, what a gutsy performance. 13-13, Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Memorial Stadium in all of its glory tonight. Both Big Reds and the Huskies in the Battle of Port Huron. So far, it is deadlocked. Dead even at 13 in the third quarter. There you see Coach Connell. He comes way out onto the field. Very active, very vocal head coach. But you know what? I've said it in the past. That's what you want. Football is not a game where you want a quiet coach and a guy that doesn't express his feelings. Well, there's a couple guys that always express their feelings, particularly that guy on the left, the Ox. How can oxen express their feelings? Simple. They point to a shirt that says Michigan and Go Blue. There you go, right on. I don't even know who the other guy is. A new employee here at CPHS Channel 6. Paul, is it? Okay, thank you, Ox, for your generosity and helping hand there. Paul on the other camera tonight. A few new employees, apparently, for Channel 6. Of course, you know me, the announcing employee, Derek Wark, the Big D. Happy to be aboard in the big captain's chair again this evening. I'm here because I love it. Don't forget that, Port Huron, and it's a great one tonight. It really is. Worth the money's worth. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Kotsko, the kick again, on the bounce, and it's out of bounds. So there's another break for the Big Reds. I'm sure Coach Connell does not like to see that. 2 special teams miscues in a row for the Huskies. 1, the missed extra point. 2, kickoff out of bounds. There you see a gentleman in a Detroit Tigers jacket. So far, Tigers hanging on. I really don't know how. And if you people can do me a big favor tomorrow, cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross everything for the Detroit Tigers, because, man, they need it. Another cameraman there. I don't think he's a Channel 6 employee, but he's just taping the game wholeheartedly. And are they going to make the Huskies re-kick this one? I think they are. But then again, I don't know why you would, unless they're made to do it. I wouldn't think they'd be made to do it. Again, from the 35, that's only a 5-yard difference. You'd get the ball in the 40. I'm surprised the Big Reds wouldn't take that. Unless, of course, at this level, you are made to kick again. And really, if you think about it, offside really before the kickoff, so maybe they say that the kick is void. But then why was the kickoff continued in the first place, right? There you go. Anyway, back to it. Back to let's get nasty again, Port Huron. High bounce. Fielded King Thomason. They get past the 40 anyway. So it did work out for the Big Reds up at the 42, and that's where they'll get the football. And I don't know, knowing that, if the Big Reds thought about maybe giving a squib kick, like an onside kick there. See if they could... The Huskies could catch him off guard a little bit here, but nice job by King Thomason, up lineman to make sure that didn't happen. So now the Big Reds from the 42, and keep in mind again, there is no Mark Chapman for this game. He's down on the sidelines on crutches. One running back. I believe it's Therese Watkins right now. 1st and 10 from the 42. Play fake. Winslow. Straight up the middle. Past the 50. Still going. Winslow Chapman to the 30. Still going to the 20. He's gone. Touchdown, Big Reds. And Mark Chapman is over here on his own down at the sidelines with both crutches in the air. He loves it. Wow. What is the one Achilles heel for the Port Huron Northern Huskies tonight? And I called it all season going into this football game. They give up the big play. This is the team that thrives on the big play. There you go. High snap, extra point try this time. It's up, and Huntoon kicks it through. 20-13, Big Reds. There you see the injured Mark Chapman, but he's got to be happy. A simple play fake was the play call, right behind center and right guard, and Winslow took off. But the thing is, the Huskies had tacklers. It's not like Winslow had open field to himself. He just plain earned it with his feet. Sometimes that's all you have to do. You dance, you move your feet. Picking up in Mark's absence is 3 Winslow. Here you see the replay, the play fake. But you see, there's 2 Huskies and now a 3rd. You've got to make that tackle. There's a 4th there, and now a 5th. He just refused to go down. I know he's fast, sure, and I know he's slippery and all the rest, but when you have him wrapped up, you've got to make the tackle. The Big Reds are a big offense set to thrive on the big play. Man, did they ever there. Let's get nasty, Port Huron again. Huntoon kicks it to the 12. This is Nowakowski, 20 to the 22, and they hammer him back. Again, that's a whole horde of Big Red tacklers, or as the public address announcer said, a plethora. 13, Tyler DeBuff among them. Pushing back Louis Nowakowski. There you see the Channel 6 sign next to Go Big Reds. That's on this end of the football field. Of course, the Huskies and their fans on the other. As you'd expect, pretty much packed here tonight. I have seen bigger crowds for the rivalry game, but this one does rank up there. Which makes me honestly wonder, because this Big Red team, 7-0. We won't see this again for a long, long time. From the 20, 1st and 10. Tyler Hughes met by Robotham and dropped. Got maybe a half yard, if that, brings up 2nd down and 10. Another thing that I like about Coach Connell, ever since he stepped in, besides the aggressive play this team responds to him with, He doesn't hide from anything. He admitted this week how talented the Big Reds are, and he won't lie to his team. He claims their defense, they're fast. It's one of the better defenses we've seen on film at the high school level. He continued, and I'll talk more about that in just a moment. A truthful Pat Connell this week, as always. Shotgun look. Johns Moore. Here's the pressure. He avoids it. Cuts upfield. 25 dancing to the 23. Very slippery player too. But at the end of all of that, as we see Trice making the tackle, it's still going to be 3rd and long. Johns Moore, though, some great moves there, absolutely. Anyway, Coach Connell continued. The good news is that the Division I kid, Alex Zmolik, is at the middle linebacker position, so he's kind of easy to find. It's not just Winslow Chapman on defense, and that number 10 is probably their best linebacker in the true sense of the word linebacker. That is Randy Trice. If you're Randy and you hear Coach Connell give you a compliment like that, that's really something. So it's not just about Winslow Chapman or Alex Zmolik. These kids have speed and skill all over the football field. 3rd down and 7. Another player with skill, Alex Johns Moore, airing it out deep to Quinn Kotsko, and it's incomplete. And the Huskies are going to have to punt. He has Kotsko open, but you're throwing a long way from right to left side of the football field. It was a good spiral, but he underthrew it, and the Huskies are going to punt. And again, Coach Connell even admitted they're fast, and the big thing is we're not going to lie to the kids. They're fast. We know they're fast. We've got to be able to line up and react really well. Well, so far, they've done that. It's just a matter of, again, not giving up. All these big plays. Kotsko, the punt fake. Look out to the outside. Here goes the mighty Quinn. Past the 40, past midfield. Out of bounds, 47. 1st down, Huskies. That is not the first time number 10, Quinn Kotsko, has done that this year. We've seen him do it 3 or 4 times. There you see the sign, Quinn. And he didn't hesitate. In past weeks he's hesitated, but he did not here. He saw the opening, he takes off. Look at this. You're out running Robotham on an angle. Great block on Trice. And then he steps out of bounds. What a break for the Huskies. Shotgun. The play fake. Flag on the play. Going to be down right about the line of scrimmage. Might have got a couple inches that saved the sack. 56, Malik Edwards on the tackle. Rapson as well is in there. And it's against the Huskies anyway. It's a hold. And that'll push them back. What a great play call. And you know what's interesting about these punt fakes by Kotsko? It's in a very, very dangerous area because of the field position. But he goes and he does it anyway. This is a kid that apparently really upped his workout regime and work ethic. Being a soccer player, both sports, and you could see him absolutely turn on the game-blazing speed. There's the hand. The legendary hand, it. Or I guess it's Thing down there in the Channel 6 van. Darian Hack. Debo still with the football. 35. Now 30. Darian Hack to the 28. 1st down, Huskies. Right after we show you Thing, the Channel 6 employee hand. Darian Hack shows a thing or two about how to rush the football. 1st down, Huskies. Here's the replay. This is really just a great presence of mind kind of a run. There you see him avoiding the secondary, but the Big Reds just don't make the tackle. There you see Husky still getting downfield, getting the blocks in. Finally, Montez Jackson steps up to make the tackle. Not before to the 24. 1st down from there. Debo has the blocking and more. Inside the 10 to the 8. Robotham and Therese Watkins make the tackle. Not before another 1st down. Huskies.
I tell you, these last two runs by the Huskies, the Big Reds defense looks really tired. All of a sudden, and I don't know why, but the Huskies have found life, and the reason for it, his name is Quinn Kotsko with the fake. On the punt. First and goal from the 9. Shotgun, Johns Moore. The give to Debo, but he's floored. Alex Smolik, 17. Coach Connell called him the D1 kid. Well, you could call him the Toledo kid too, because that's where he's going next year apparently. To the MAC. Brings up second down. And goal now from the 11. Big Reds need a stop. Huskies need to punch this in to tie the football game. 2.5 to go in the third. The fake again. Johns Moore the keeper, but they mug him this time. Randy Trice. It's Trice is nice. And you have to wonder because Alex Johns Moore keeps getting up from the pile. And he wants to limp. His first reaction's to limp every time. This is one of the gutsier performances, and I've said this all night. I sound like a broken record, but he deserves it. He's playing in a leg brace. I don't know if we can even get a close-up of that leg brace at some point, but Johns Moore's playing in a brace tonight. I don't even know if he really should be playing, but you have to take your hat off to the kid. Really a standout, gutsy performance by a guy who clearly is not 100%. A Statue of Liberty kind of a handoff, but the Big Reds just don't buy it. Buried immediately. I think it was 63, James Calvert, playing on the other side of the football, who got him. That was one of those backdoor handoffs. And you could even call it the Statue of Liberty play on the handoff there. Kotsko's coming out here now for a field goal attempt. Big Red fans yelling out, watch the fake, guys, watch the fake. They did it last week, you never know. If he doesn't fake it, this is Kotsko from 34. Place down, kick, up. And he got it. Quinn Kotsko from 34. Makes it now 20-16 Big Reds. There you see the scoreboard and clock. 51 seconds to go in the third. Again, Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Man, what a game so far. And while there's a break in the action, I'll tell you, bigdsports.info, my webpage, where I go on there and I talk about the game that I saw and the game that I did play-by-play for every week. And obviously I'm going to talk about this one. I'll talk about the players, who I thought stood out and who played well for defensive units, offensive units, everything. My own personal blog, bigdsports.info. I'll have lots to say about this one, especially if it stays like it is. A one-possession game, anybody's game. The Ox even wrote in. The cameraman, the Ox, he wrote into bigdsports.info, and he basically said, Big D, you throw away records when these two teams meet. And I didn't believe him, honestly. I'm sorry to the Huskies, but I honestly thought the Big Reds were just too good. Well, Huskies are proving they've got just as much heart. And these two teams are neck and neck right now. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Kotsko on the bounce to the 30, 35. King Thomason 40, up hard and down hard to the 43. He gets up and tries to taunt 89, who made the tackle, and a good job tackling Andy Newman on the tackle. There you see some of the Big Red faithful, I believe. I think we know the man up front. They have to be happy what they see so far, but then again, Huskies are within striking distance. And that has to concern the 7-0 Big Reds. First and 10 from the 43. 47 ticks to go in the third. Winslow Chapman. They missed the block, but Chapman still keeps the ball. From behind, Watkins pushed forward. That'll be enough for a first down. Crowd wants a late penalty, but they're not going to get it. First down, Winslow, Chapman. And you really do wonder what Mark Chapman leaving this football game does for the pass of the Big Reds, because I haven't seen Winslow throw the football yet. He's a stellar athlete, and he is not going to Chippewa or the Central Michigan Chippewas next year for his quarterbacking abilities. That's for sure. He's going for everything else, though. First and 10 from the 44. The give. Therese Watkins through the hole. 35-30. Therese Watkins could be gone. 15-10. Pushed out of bounds at the 7. There you go. The big play for the Big Reds has won this football game. And I told you, beginning of the broadcast, the Huskies stopped the big play. They stopped the Big Reds, but they haven't done it. What a huge hole from the start of that play. From the center to the left guard on, Therese Watkins could have walked through that hole. Wow. This offensive line of the Big Reds is really something special. First and goal from the 5. Therese again. No problem. Touchdown, Big Reds. Not just about stopping the big play, as much as it's filling the holes on these talented players in the offensive backfield. There you see a very happy Therese Watkins getting some yardage and happy about it. You have to clog the lanes on this Big Red team because the holes are huge. You've got to fill those holes with linebackers, safeties even, especially now because they're one-dimensional on the rush. Extra point try. Huntoon, it's placed down, it's up. And he missed it, wide left. So a bit of a sloppy game as far as the extra points and the kicking game goes, but 26-16, Big Reds up 10. 26 seconds to go third quarter as you see Therese Watkins scamper in. Nice to see some backup players get a touchdown. CPHS, Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station, Derek Wark, the Big D, where I always tell you, being big is a state of mind. And the Big Reds will probably tell you that too. Up by 10, 26-16. There's our eye in the sky tonight. The shoeless one. Chad Schuler. But he had shoes on there, I think. They've even called him the dozer before because they tell me he sleeps on the job, and when he does, he's got no shoes on. I'm sure you're thrilled to death to hear that one, but they've put him in the Zoom boom, the scissor lift tonight. Actually, Brandon the Killer Kovacs was up in that thing earlier. I said to Chad Schuler, I hope he's not afraid of heights. He said, but he is Big D. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Off kickoff, Quinn Kotsko, 25. They get him from behind to the 27. Watkins got him. So did 23. Malik Lewis, but don't look now. Flag on the play. Or did they pick it up? I don't see it now. No, I guess they might have picked it up. Final 20 seconds of a very entertaining third quarter and second half thus far. Oh, there is a flag on the play. I don't see it anymore, but we'll see what the call was all about here. It was thrown very late. Personal foul against the Huskies, and the Big Reds again waved off. So I think it was after the play, so they're not going to make him re-kick the ball again. The ball just right at the 26, that's where they'll get it in the Huskies. Come out again to begin another drive led by the half-hurt Alex Johns-Moore. Final 20 seconds of the third. Very, very entertaining night tonight. particularly if the Huskies continue to move the ball. And if you're just joining us, they certainly have, but the Big Reds, who have not moved the ball like the Huskies have, they've just dominated on a few big plays. They've scored on them, and they've been for long rushing gains. Johns Moore tripped up and brought down. I tell you, right now on the defensive line, 63 James Calvert, 5'9", 190, the senior, is dominating. That's the end of the third quarter, folks. 1 quarter left to go in the Battle of Port Huron, the Super Bowl of Port Huron, where after 3 complete, the Big Red quest to go 8-0 is still alive, and to take home the Brick Fowler. Who will take home that Brick Fowler? We'll find out as the fourth quarter is upon us, and it comes up next. (26-16). Port Huron High Big Reds on top of the Port Huron Northern Huskies, the Super Bowl of Port Huron from Memorial Stadium. We finally begin the fourth quarter, where the Huskies face 2nd and 10 from the 26. They have moved the ball tonight on the Big Reds. Can they continue? We'll see. Johns Moore outside, overthrows. Intended receiver Quinn Kotsko, and that brings up 3rd down. Well, the Huskies' schedule, August the 26th, they lost to Stony Creek in a blowout game, 31-13. Basically, Blake Golding's on-the-job training in that game. September the 2nd, they then lost to Grosse Pointe South, 34-6. They were blown out. They then began the year 0-2. September 9th, they beat Lance Cruz 10-0. And we'll leave off there and tell you the rest of the story here in just a minute of the Huskies' 2011 football season. From the 26, big play here for the Huskies offense, 3rd and 10. Johns Moore avoids the pass rush. He can't avoid all of them. Randy Trice. Wow. Zmolik's over there too. Malik Edwards and James Calvert, who again has been dominant on the line tonight. Well, Johns Moore did a good job avoiding the first pass rush there, but the second, I mean, you can't avoid everybody, and they were coming. There's their pass rusher extraordinaire, Calvert, from the outside. Look at that. He avoided Zmolik, but Trice got to him. And here's the punt now. Quinn Kotsko from his 3. Thinks about a fake again. Now he's going to punt it. And gets off a beauty. Kotsko, look at this thing. Inside the 40 to the 35 to the 34. Maybe the 33. Sometimes Kotsko just punts doozies. He's had further than that this year, but that's a beautiful punt. And the Big Reds will start there. Again, getting back to the Huskies and their 2011 schedule. September the 16th, they lost to Chippewa Valley 20-16 in a game that anybody will really tell you they really should have won or could have won. And that would have been quite the night, of course, with the Big Reds beating Utica Eisenhower here at Memorial Stadium. That could have been a double blow to the MAC Red by our Big Reds and Huskies, so that would have been interesting. But no can do. They lost 20-16 on September the 16th. Their record at that point was 1-3. 1st and 10. Montez Jackson around left side gets the odd carry and got a couple. September 23rd, and really, I think their best all-around game played all year long. They blew out Utica Ford. The Chieftains were just overmatched by a Husky team that really wanted to get home. At that stage, they were, 1-3. They came home and they just took it to Utica Ford. That was a tremendously played football game by the Huskies that week. September the 30th, they blew out Sterling Heights. Everybody seems to be doing that these days. And then last week's double overtime thriller against Anchor Bay, 36-35. And here we are tonight. So far, they've played a very spirited game. I would say in terms of sheer talent, you give the edge to the Big Reds. I'm not siding with anyone here. I love both teams. I think they're both great in their own way, but, being honest is what I do. The Big Reds are a more talented team, but that doesn't mean the Huskies can't win this game. They have the talent, they have the heart. The question is, coming in, again, would they give up the big play, the big run, the big pass? Mark Chapman went down. You could ill afford to give up the big play to Winslow Chapman after that, but they did. And they're paying for it now, down 10, 26-16. Do they have enough offensively to battle back against the Big Red talented defense? They send the kitchen sink on the blitz. They're trying to get to Winslow. He passes it. Caught by 7, Jalen Esters. Good yardage out to the 48 and a first down. Big Reds. Mitch Schrader the tackle, but not before. Big Reds move the sticks for a first down. Really the first pass that Winslow has thrown. And he certainly didn't look too sure of it, but wide open man, great block by the way, Therese Watkins. And Therese Watkins got bowled over there in the offensive backfield. But you know what? It doesn't matter that you do. If you're just that body, if you just buy that 1 second of time, so crucial. And that Husky mascot there would agree with me if he could speak. I don't even know if he can speak or not. Therese Watkins, here he goes again. Therese to the 40, to the 35, running on an angle, trying to get him as Hunter Potter. And he does, but not before. Loads of yards out past the 31 to the Husky 30. First down, Big Reds. Well, the Channel 6 staff tonight doing a great job as always. The eye in the sky, as mentioned, is Chad Shoeless Dozer Schuler. I'll tell you more about the Channel 6 staff tonight as we watch Therese Watkins rumble in a stiff arm battle with Hunter Potter there right at your screen. Does the splits at the 30. The rest of the Channel 6 team as we watch these two teams continue to battle. First and 10 from the 30. 6 minutes to play in the fourth. And they jump. Again, Chad Schuler on the Zoom Boom / Scissor Lift tonight. Brandon Bushy Beard Wright. He's been the in-booth camera and he walks around to get motion shots. Sean Went the Ox in the booth along with Paul Campen. Chuck King, Krista Bizga. The grip is Brandon the Killer Kovac. Look out for him so close to Halloween. Slow-mo, Andy the Big Bad Wolf. Also slow-mo down there, the big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea. Graphics tonight is Shelley Sinek, wife of Mr. Extraordinaire. She'll agree, Mr. Extraordinaire, the director, the Green Hornet. And Smiley, Ed Sinek. There you go. Great job, folks. Ed, EJ, thanks for the opportunity again from the Big D to you as we have a timeout on the football field. 7:35 to go in the fourth. 26-16, Big Reds on top of the Huskies. Again, it's Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS, Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. There you see Coach Mullins, John Cena himself. He's got a whale of a football team. And really, the only thing that might be able to beat the Big Reds in 2011 is themselves. There's a happy guy. The Pack, not so happy. See, they get to sit on the wall over there. On this side, they don't let the Big Reds sit on the wall. I don't understand that. They've always let the Northern students do it. There you see the Big Red marching bands, percussion. They do a great job. At the half, something very interesting today as well. They had a halftime kick to see if Jasmine Brown, who won the chance at this, could kick the ball from 30 yards out, I believe, into the end zone inside a pickup truck. She'd get the truck. tell you what happened there in just a moment. Winslow Chapman, the play fake. That's just a counter play. Fake left side, run to the right. He still has the football. 5, end zone. He's in. He's got to be. What an effort. Yes, touchdown, Big Reds. Oh, my goodness. He's unfair because he's so good. I've said it before, he refuses to run out of bounds. When he cuts, you have got to tackle him. The trouble is tonight, the Huskies they've been missing their tackles. They have not tackled at the feet of Winslow Chapman. They haven't made the tackle. But his dive at the end of that for the end zone, goodness gracious. Extra point is good. Wow. So after a very, very strong first half played by the Huskies, the Big Reds are starting to pull away. Here's the replay. Good block by Therese Watkins. Great block there by Smolik on the outside too. Winslow finds a seam and then they just don't tackle him. Watch him dive for the end zone here. Wow, look at that. Boom, in your face. Look at that. I tell you, this Big Red team is loaded with talent, and it all starts with that kid right there, Mark Chapman, who is injured and he's on crutches, and we can only hope that he's healthy, because should this score stand tonight, the Big Reds would be 8-0. Next week, they have Madison Heights Madison. I see no reason why they can't beat a team that is under them as far as divisions go. They aren't in the MAC Blue. I believe they're MAC Gold. There is no reason this team can't go 9-0 and wait for a possible Mark Chapman return in Week 10. They run the board. They're going to get a home playoff game. Well, they'll probably run out. They will, in my opinion. They'll get a playoff game in Week 10, 11, and probably 12, should they get that far, because you'd be looking at 11-0. This is shaping up to clearly be the year of the Port Huron High Big Reds. I've never seen anything like this. Brandon Huntoon, let's get nasty, Port Huron. From the 8, the dangerous Kotsko to the 20. 25, 30, look out, Kotsko. 40, still on his feet, 45, 50, downed to the Husky. No, the Big Red 49. How about that return from Quinn Kotsko? And just when you think the Big Reds are pulling away, the mighty Quinn still gives you that little bit of hope for the Huskies. Depending on when he stepped out of bounds, they're saying he was out at his own 48. A difference of, 3 yards from where I thought it was. And now it's 1st and 10 from there. There you see, late replay. Great spin move, Kotsko avoids Hutchinson as he's falling out of bounds. And it looks like, maybe he did step out early. Great job there, big fella in the truck, to get that replay. Things getting very loud now on the sidelines, the Big Red sidelines. From shotgun, Johns Moore, play fake. Stays still. This one is underthrown, and he's fortunate probably that it was. I said from the beginning of the broadcast, if you're going to throw at Winslow Chapman, make sure you zing the football. He had time to adjust to that, and if that wasn't underthrown, eek. Intended, by the way, for number 12, Jackson Langolf. Now we got to get to the players of the game. James Calvert defensively up front for the Big Reds has been outstanding. Man, what a force. He's my defensive player of the game for the Big Reds. I thought he was primarily an offensive lineman, but he has really stood out tonight. Ill-advised snap, hits Johns Moore. The Big Reds jump on it, and they have the football. Johns Moore was not looking at the snap. That is miscommunication by him in the center, and the Big Reds get the football back. Now it really makes you wonder, knowing these late mistakes like this for the Huskies. If they did not, I think it was Smolik who jumped on that football. It was. Middle linebacker Alex Smolik got it. If the Huskies did not allow the big plays tonight from the Chapmans, knowing they're making these late mistakes, would they still be in this football game? That's the question. Well, Winslow did everything to fake that one. Huh. Outside left side got maybe 5. And now it's about the Big Reds running down the clock. And I believe it was King Thomason on the carry. Anyway, players of the game, James Calvert gets it for the Big Reds for me. Defensively. Offensively, you know, it's a broken record, and I've given it to him a lot. But how can you not take Chapman number 3? He has just been too good. How can I award it to anybody else when he does that great every week? Well, immediate handoff. Not much. Got a couple. Huskies concerned with Winslow. Bought the fake a little bit there. So it's got to be James Calvert and Winslow Chapman on the offense for the Big Reds. Defensively for the Huskies, I have to think about it for a moment. There's been a lot of great play. Well, I'll be thinking about that for a minute. Hunter Potter's been good. Ben Haynes has been good. Glumbowski, Noah Chuck. Has anyone really stood out, though, in a big way? How about all of them I just announced? There you go. The fake handoff again, left side, first down, Big Reds. Offensively, I think you got to give it to number 2, Alex Johnsmore, just because of the pure guts that he showed in being on the field in the first place. Again, it's a kid with a leg brace on his right leg tonight. How many players do you know gutsy enough to come out here with a leg and a half and play this football game? And he's the quarterback. You know he's going to take licks the way he runs. But you've got to give it to him on gutsy performance alone, really. The fact that he's even out there in the first place. Again, Mark Chapman, number 5, went down for the Big Reds. He's out. Here's the give. Right side. Darian Hack with a vicious tackle. Big Red sidelines. They want a flag, maybe for a horse collar. 16, by the way, the carry. Carl Portis Hollier, as his mother likes to call him, the rock star waiting to happen and doesn't even know it. I loved that comment. She wrote into the webpage and said that. That is hilarious. Anyway, Portis Hollier, the carry there, and fans wanted the flag for the horse collar. They didn't get it. Pretty tough to call that one, though. Knowing you're up 17, just trying to get this game over with, running the clock down. Brandon Wright up here in the booth said, oh yeah, definitely. He thought it was a horse collar, so there you go. If he thought it was, I gotta agree. I gotta. Here's the carry again. Portis Hollier to the 22. Micah Moore, the tackle. Anyway, the Big Reds, they beat Warren Cousino in Cousino on the 26th in a game that was great right up to the end. September 2nd, they blew out Sterling Heights. September the 9th, they beat Anchor Bay 40-14. The big upset over Utica Eisenhower happened on the 16th of September, 22-21. They blew out Clintondale on the 23rd, blew out Lance Cruz on the 30th, blew out Grosse Pointe South last week, which I could not believe, and now they're doing it again, although late. They're doing it again to the Northern Huskies. Play fake. Winslow Chapman tried to high jump. A block being made by Montez Jackson, I believe. Tried to clear it and couldn't. You know what truly would have been amazing? And I wouldn't put it past him. That he would have cleared that. We have a timeout on the football field, and the Big Red fans are absolutely screaming. They love it. The Port Huron High Big Reds are 3:27 away from the Brick Fowler Memorial Trophy, the outright Mac Blue Championship, and still the perfect 2011 football season. I said it last week. I craved a 7-Up soda. 7 opponents up, 7 down. Tonight, could we be seeing 8 up and 8 down? Brick Fowler and Mac Blue, all in one evening. After the loss of Justin Black, I just didn't think it was possible, folks. Well, never doubt a Chapman. I'm sorry, I doubted a Chapman, and I'm wrong to do it. And look at the results, 8-0. And I wonder if Justin Black knows that this team is 8-0 from wherever he is in Florida. King Thomason, end zone, touchdown, Big Reds. Flag on the play, that's probably going to be for celebration or something, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Flag was thrown late, that touchdown's going to stand. The gentleman with the royal name, King Thomason, got 6 more. And if that touchdown stands, that's all she wrote. But even if it is all she wrote, the Big Reds got a big-time scare tonight from the Huskies. They are just too much right now for anybody in the Mac Blue period. Personal foul, by the way, on the Huskies. That'll be assessed at kickoff. They want to know if it's a touchdown over there. Look at the effort by King. Pushing guys forward. Just wouldn't go down. Finally, Micah Moore made the tackle, but not before a touchdown for King Thomason. Coach Mullen's getting the explanation. And there's a gentleman with a true blue tomahawk. He's not chopping it right now, though. Gonna save it for some wood, I guess. But that was a nice looking tomahawk. They do the tomahawk chop here. Scoreboard very hard to read at this point. I believe we're about to see 40-16. High snap, placed down, kick, up, good. 40-16. Big Reds, and it's all over now except for some time. But you know what? Again, my hat's off to the Huskies because they played a game and were in this game right up to the end of the third quarter, maybe early fourth, in a game that they weren't really supposed to be hanging around. Is that the fact that it's a rivalry game? It really doesn't matter. I don't really care about intangibles like that. The main thing I care about is the Huskies played a very spirited game. And I see no reason why they can't finish off the season next week. Playing St. Clair and beating St. Clair and going 5-4 and then holding their breath for the possible playoff berth. You can make the playoffs in the MHS AA at 5-4. You can do it. Depending on what they believe is the strength of your schedule. That, by the way, was Coach Connell. Standing in his background was number 10, Quinn Kotsko. Big Reds kept Kotsko out of the end zone tonight. Jackson Langolf got in for one of their wideout touchdowns. 40-16. Penalty assessed on the kickoff. I think for unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct, one or the other. Here's the kick. Let's get nasty. Port Huron. Sufis takes it down at the 6. Well, they'll be celebrating at Port Huron High tonight with the Brick Fowler. Port Huron Northern's got to give the trophy back. They won it last year in Coach Connell's first season, 10-0. But again, it's not like the Huskies were not in this football game, because they were. And really, just Big Red dominance towards the end of this game has sealed it. But the Big Reds are a team that is used to blowing teams out. They've done it for a while now. Heck, ever since the Utica-Eisenhower game, they have 3 straight blowouts. It looks like this one's going to be 4, so they're used to this. But I think they got a little nervous. The Huskies made them nervous tonight, knowing they were just 1 possession down for much of this game. QB keeper, they just down him right away. Alex Smolik, the sack. And it was a pleasure meeting his parents earlier tonight. Saw his dad down in the bathroom. Saw his mother, of course, bringing up the hats signed by all the Big Reds. Thanks again, boys, for that one. That one made the Big D smile. I don't smile that often up here in the booth. But at 8-0 this year, you guys have really, really made me smile. Well, not just tonight, but up here in general this season. I mean, you got to realize something. The Big D in 16 years of doing this has never seen a team go 9-0, ever. I've never, ever seen it. And I would be shocked if they don't do it now. 8-0 after this one. Against Madison Heights, Madison next week. They'll likely make it 9. We'll be back here for week 10 for the playoffs. You know we will, because 9-0 gets you a home game guaranteed. Probably 2 or 3. From his own end zone, shotgun. They give it to him this time. Push back. I think that's a safety. It's a safety. And to put icing on the cake, and maybe even appropriately so, icing on Mrs. Chapman's 53rd birthday cake. Safety, Big Reds. There you go. And if you're wondering who the culprit was that told me it was your 53rd, James did. There. How about that flag? How about it? Calls himself Robo, Tyler Robotham. I cannot believe his dad's got a flag like that. Where's that at anyway? I don't even know. The Big Reds are 3 minutes away. And I don't even know what they'll be celebrating more. Will they celebrate the Brick Fowler Trophy more, or the MAC Division, the Blue Division title? They win them both in 3 minutes. And I have to again say to the team across the football field, you really have nothing to be ashamed of. Not that you're a bad football team. This is just a good team, this Big Red team. They're good, they're big, they're fast, they're athletic, they're special. There's James right there. He leaked out the big secret about Patty's 53rd, so there you go. I'm centering them out today. I have to. They gave me a signed hat. I mean, come on. It's only appropriate. Anyway, to the Huskies, nothing to be ashamed of. I see no reason why they can't go 5-4 after next week and maybe keep their hopes alive for a playoff bid. Quinn Kotsko, good punt coming off the safety here. On the return, Montez Jackson. Look at the blocking. 45. Montez is still on his feet. Still going. Montez to the 39. Maybe, I think, the 40 of the Huskies, and that just seals the deal. That's a 5'6", 140 player, folks. 2 minutes, 48 remaining. I should also mention, great punt by Quinn Kotsko there. And congratulations to Quinn Kotsko, too, on being a wonderful soccer player. He does it all really for this high school and this football team, but my mom actually dared me tonight. I told her there was a player called Quinn on the Huskies. I'll tell you this in a moment. Shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 40. High snap and a hard snap. Chapman turns, falls, great tackle, 55. Brandon Adair. Crowd wants a late hit. They might get one with a flag. Anyway, I told my mother there's a player on the Port Huron Northern Huskies called Quinn Kotzko. And I told her I put on the bigdsports.info. Come all without, come all within. You've not seen nothing like the mighty Quinn. Just like the Manfred Mann song. And she said, well, Big D, sing it. I said, I'm not singing that. Forget it. And then I made her a deal just for fun, because obviously she doesn't come to these games. I said, I tell you what, if Quinn Kotzko gets in the end zone, I'll sing it. Well, for that reason, because I'm no American Idol all-star. Don't be calling Simon Cowell in my near future, okay? I know you believe me on that, so I'm not going to go any further with my singing career. Quinn didn't get in, so I don't have to sing it. But you know what? This is the 1 week where Quinn, luckily for me and my horrible singing, did not get in. Because he's been getting touchdowns like there's no tomorrow. 2 last week, another one on the huge kickoff return that he had. It's a pleasure to call play-by-play for guys like Quinn Kotzko. It really is. From the 23, 1st and 10, Carl Portis-Hollier up the middle. And I apologize to the Huskies ahead of time. And even the Big Reds. I'm not going to be here next week, I don't think. But for the Big Reds and their playoff bid, I will definitely be here from up north. I'll do everything I can to get back for that one. I missed the Huskies game last week. I don't like the fact that I did. Especially the fact that it was a real great, gutsy, heartfelt victory in overtime on a gutsy call by Coach Connell at the end. And I was happy for them. And really it all comes down to their start, because if they don't start 1-3, who knows what position they'd be in right now. Well, I don't know how they even faked this one. Quarterback sack. Huskies. 37 Rodney Maas got him. I thought Portis-Hollier took the handoff that time, but instead it was Winslow Chapman on the play fake. Final minute 36. So to wrap it up, if this is the last time I see the Port Huron Northern Huskies this season, I just want to say to the seniors, thank you. Because it's been an honor and a privilege. It really has. It wasn't like last season, but you guys lost a lot of talent to graduation from last season. So you have nothing to hang your heads about. It was a rebuilding year, and I fully expect the Huskies to come back next year under Blake Golding and get the job done. He'll be a senior next season. Final minute. The Big Red fans, as we see King Thomason on the handoff. The Big Red fans singing sha-na-na-na, hey, 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 goodbye. And no, I'm not singing that either. You don't want to hear the Big D sing. The Big D's an announcer. Let's keep it that way. Final 40 seconds. This is it. How about it, Port Huron High School? Huh? After going 5-4 a season ago, you came back with something that I have never seen in my 16 years of broadcasting for CPHS Channel 6. You've gone 8-0. I didn't think it was possible without Justin Black, folks. Well, it's possible. Portis-Hollier. Hit hard by Adrian Bishop. That, folks, is going to do it. Unless the Huskies stop the clock. Well, now the clock's going to stop because of a flag. They're going to have one more play. This is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Huskies first and foremost. Maybe another one on the Big Reds. Port Huron has done it. MAC Blue champions. Brick Fowler Trophy champions. They bring it back to PH. And they're 8-0. Congratulations to Coach Mullins, Ken Semmelsberger, and the rest of this Big Red football team that have done the unlikely. The only team that anybody predicted to challenge the Big Reds in the MAC Blue this season was Grosse Pointe South, and they blew them away. Besides the Kuzno game at the beginning of the year and the Utica Eisenhower game on week 4, there has been no one to match the talent level of the Port Huron High Big Reds in terms of depth, size, speed, ability, and flat-out agility. And here you go. Here's the reward. I said at beginning of the broadcast, they play football the right way. They make blocks like few teams at this level do. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, number 3 Winslow Chapman is blocking defensive lines. Up front, they're solid. To the outside with Smolik and Robotham, they block well. That's doing the little things that win football games. And they're buying into what Coach Mullins is teaching. And again, after losing Justin Black for Florida, I didn't think they had an immediate backup as impressive as Mark Chapman. He's hurt right now, by the way. I don't know his status for coming weeks. I would guess regardless, he'll take a week off next week. I would think they'll believe that they're good enough to beat Madison Heights Madison. But come the playoffs, will we see Mark Chapman? I don't know. Final snap of this football game, and they just kneel. That's gonna do it. Don't hang your heads, Port Huron Northern Huskies. No way. You gave it all you had. You leave it all on the football field, and you challenge the Big Reds for 3 of the 4 quarters. And in the end, that has to say something. Congratulations to the Port Huron Big Reds. You are the 2011 MAC Blue champions. And I can say, officially, to head coach Ryan Mullins, it's tradition now. I do it every year. From the Big D to you. Polish off your mantle, Ryan Mullins. The Brick Fowler Trophy comes back to Port Huron. Good night, everybody. Congratulations, Big Reds. You're 8-0. Truly, you're amazing. You've done it. Congrats.
Mazel tov once again to Michael and Susan. A loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to enjoy the conversation. Thank you for